Hello, my name is Selena Robinson, and the course number is coming from ENC 1101. My teacher name is Kim Laffont, and the assignment is due on April 22nd, 2016. And this is my final argument paper that, and the topic that I chose was domestic surveillance. And when it comes to domestic surveillance, I thought of the 1998 movie Enemy of the State. Unfortunately, the outcome of this movie does not paint a positive picture for the NSA. Call me paranoid, just as the character portrayed in this movie. But it gives the biggest con towards domestic surveillance. As legal as it might be, it seemed illegal towards the rights and privacy of American people. The movie example is not the only reason I decided on the con verdict on domestic surveillance, but it does point out some allegation. According to Glenn Greenwald, in No Place to Hide, posed to challenge and you have nothing to worry about. Mind your own business and support or at least tolerate what we do, and you'll be fine. So in other words, do not oppose to government search or what you may call eavesdropping, and you should be in the clear. Why does the government get to decide how we should believe or feel of domestic surveillance? In my opinion, even to the extent a warrant cannot be used to justify the invasion of one's privacy. Picture your 13-year-old son with a Sprint phone, and he has begun to search for balloon bombs. Doing this just for fun and games to share with some friends for later, not realizing that the word bomb itself may trigger an NSA. Being that Sprint and AT&T shares records and information to the NSA, now your household may be under surveillance. The information that NSA collects can be up to 5 years. With conversation and text messages, metadata can reveal a lot about your family and you, just by one single word, and suddenly you may be looked at as criminal or terrorist. But is it really the NSA use resources tracking individuals who are not a risk to national security, labeling as suspects or known terrorists without diffusing any known threats? This makes prediction on individuals whether they will commit a terrorist act. And with these predictions, the individual will be labeled as a terrorist without being able to prove innocent of a threat they haven't carried out. When the individual inside the U.S. is targeted by the NSA, they have 5 days to submit a report to the Department of Justice and other authorities. Tactics taken by the NSA is certain to be unconstitutional since they exaggerate its roles in any terrorist act. How can they explain the prevention of 9/11, the Boston Marathon bombing, a school shooting, or any threats on American soil that happens over the years, where there is no explanation why violating civil liberties with no action for justice of the worth the surveillance, when individuals are targeted who were never suspect of a crime? The data which is collected comes completely out of the taxpayers' dollars. Although spending is classified, the estimated cost of at $574 per taxpayer, which is rounded off to about $10 million a year. The majority of society uses some sort of social media, whether it is for business or pleasure, just as everyone has a cell phone, iPad, or laptop computer. So as the population increases and as the Intel has upgraded, more surveillance will be required in order to continue with the NSA program. The use of violence as a means of achieving a goal is somewhat an act of terrorist, just as bomber, gunman, assassin, etc. would be called a terrorist. So who gives the NSA the right to label or profile an individual as a terrorist? When were the different levels of which we may call terrorist act? Many lives that were lost. We are unknowingly giving up our privacy with no guarantee that it is making our lives any safer. Especially if surveillance data crosses the wrong hands on oftentimes used and innocent people or groups for personal reasons. With that being noted, good old-fashioned investigation would probably be a lot cheaper, faster, safer, and defense toward protecting America. Mahagan Neal mentioned in You Will Never Guess how many terrorist pilots the NSA domestic spy program has foiled. That the NSA had no discernible impact on preventing terrorist attacks. Instead, the majority of threats over the last decade were detected by regular old intelligence and law enforcement methods. This is the conclusion of my argument, final paper, domestic surveillance. Thank you.